And welcome back to the Financially Simple Podcast. I'm your host, Justin Goodbread, and today we're going to continue our deep dive into risk management for us business owners. Now remember, we're talking about personal finances, and in last episode, we got to this point of risk management where we begin dealing with life insurance. Yeah, that topic that everybody loves to hate. In fact, I had somebody in my office this morning that said, dude, I know I need life insurance. I don't want to get it because I don't want to think about dying. I was actually having coffee with a CPA attorney friend. Think about this, a CPA attorney who looked at me, not quite talking about life insurance, but they said, Justin, I don't have a will. I'm like, dude, what's up with that? You don't have a will? He's like, man, I don't have a will. Well, why? And he came to me and he said, basically at the breakfast, he said, well, I don't want to think about dying. I don't know what I'm going to do with my kids, this, that, and the other, but I don't want to think about dying. So life insurance is sold. It's sold many times to us business owners or to people in general because we don't like to think about death. So today's topic I want to deal with is, should I purchase a life insurance policy to fund my retirement? Yeah, you heard me right. Should you buy life insurance to fund your retirement? Now look, one of the first things an insurance agent learns, I did, and I came into the insurance world, and so do many people, the first thing the insurance agents learn is how to go out and sell a permanent life insurance policies to high cash flow earning individuals. And the sales pitch goes something like this. Mr. Client, we know you have the anticipation of retiring before you're 59 and a half. And if we put all that money into the retirement account, then you're going to have to pay a 10% penalty when you take the money out of your retirement accounts. Therefore, we need to have your money grow in a tax-favored manner. And we want we want to have access to that money so that we can use it for various things. Some people call it various topics, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And they go into this whole sales pitch. And if you listen to it, ultimately what they're coming back to is buy life insurance. There's this particular money blogger that I follow that I subscribe to their newsletters. I want to see how they market. And if you look at it, you think they're a financial expert. But if you get down to the disclosure section of their email newsletter, it says, we are not tax advisors. We are not investment advisors. We are not financial advisors. We are not business advisors. And you're like, well, what else is there they can be? And if you start reading the content, what they are is a glorified life insurance sales company that's using various concepts to try to push and sell more life insurance. So there's a strategy out there, and it goes by many names. Ultimately, it's called a life insurance retirement plan, or a LARP, LARP. Some people call it the 770 account. Man, you need to have a 770 account. I heard that probably in the last month. I heard somebody say, oh yeah, I have a president's secret account. I'm like, what's a president's secret account? I heard someone say, well, I don't have a 401k, I have a 501k plan. Yeah, that's creative. I heard someone call it one time an invisible account. I really have this account, but it's invisible. And I heard, I have an account that provides income for life. The funniest term I ever heard on this was this is a 702J retirement plan. What they're inevitably saying with all those different code words is, hey, look, dude, we want you to buy life insurance for retirement. So in the sales pitch, as I mentioned, they're going to go through and try to get you to buy insurance and ultimately try to have it where the life insurance generates a cash value so that when you, quote, are ready to retire, you can start taking money out of a retirement account tax-free. And there's various sales pitches. One of the first I heard in the industry when I came in was you go to a business owner and you say, hey, I need you to put as much money as you can in this life insurance. We're going to overfund it. And by doing so, the life insurance policy is going to zoom. We'll use a variable life insurance, or we'll use an index life insurance. We're not going to make a risk to the market, or we will put a risk in the market, either way they go. And ultimately, if you retire before 59 and a half, you'll have access to tax-favored dollars. And it outperforms this whole idea of buying term investing the difference. Now, back whenever I first started the industry, folks, I got to tell you, I was trained to do this, and I had to do it in order to keep my job. In fact, we used to run reports with industry-specific software that I could run and make the argument that a life insurance policy will outperform a buy term and invest the difference concept. Basically, a buy term and invest the difference means you're going to buy the 20-year term or the 30-year term insurance that I talked about in the last episode, and the difference between the whole life premium or the term premium, you're going to invest it. You're going to invest it into your retirement accounts or into a non-qualified account, etc. But back in the day, we actually had to sell this. Now, has it been a bad thing? In fact, I have 3 clients who currently have these things. Is it bad? Nope, not at all. Is it the best? Things have changed. So whenever you hear concepts, you have to remember times are changing super fast. We have investments today that we didn't have 5 years ago. We have strategies because of the new tax code that we didn't have 2 years ago. So things are changing fast. And at this point, I just don't believe for business owners this is a strategy or a philosophy you should buy into. I really don't. I'm going to give you an example. I have an illustration here that I asked a life insurance agent to provide me. And I'm just going to read the numbers off of it because for me to share an illustration, first of all, I'm not a licensed insurance agent, so I asked an insurance agent to give me something, and he gave me a number fact sheet. I don't know the company it's from. I don't have any of the specifics. All I know is this is a 40-year-old non-smoker, so someone my age, who needs to buy $1 million worth of life insurance. And on this particular policy, it has a 5.5 assumed rate of return. So 5.5 assumed rate of return. Is that good or bad? It depends on how the investments were to act. If it's more conservative, maybe that's a little bad. If it's aggressive, yeah, that should be a little higher. So in this illustration, though, it's $1 million life insurance policy that has an assumed growth rate of 5.5%. The premium on this life insurance is $5,900, so $5,920 to be exact. And if I look at this illustration, what it shows me is that from age 40 to age 50, if I put in $5,920 a year, that I have paid $59,200 after 10 years. So 5,920 times 10 is $59,200. I've paid that much money for all these 10 years and for $1 million in life insurance. If something happened to me, the life insurance company would provide the death benefit. But here's where the strategy comes into play. They say, well, if you put in this $5,920 a year, then after 20 years or 10 years' time, you're going to have a cash value, as we talked about in last episode, that you can access. You can access this money for retirement planning, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So here's the math on this, friends. And this is the simplest way I can tell you. Now, look, I'm going to tell you, if you ever are approached by a slick-talking life insurance salesman, they can talk circles. And they may start asking you questions because, honestly, most lay people don't know how to rip apart these illustrations like we CFPs or we fee-only advisors do. But here's the reality of it. I'm going to kind of cut it down for you. After 10 years, you had paid in $59,200. On this particular illustration, there is a total cash value of $26,357. I'm going to say it again. You paid in $59,200. You have a cash value, a policy value that I can use for whatever reason after 10 years of $26,000, less than half. Remember in last episode as I was talking about life insurance is sold because of huge commissions? I'm looking at this illustration, and in this particular case, the commission was over $15,000. So the difference between $59,200, the premium that you paid in, and the cash value amount, the majority of that went to a commission to the person who sold the policy. So right there, in and of itself, and I'm running this on a 40-year-old, right there in and of itself, if you are trying to use this for an accumulation standpoint for retirement purposes, there's not enough money in the policy value to do really anything with. If we run that out to 20 years, here's where it gets even crazier. At 20 years, you've paid in $118,400. And the policy value, based on a 5.5 assumed return on investment, is $93,000. So after 20 years of, quote, investing, you don't even have a cash value that matches the premium paid. Now, friends, I got to tell you, I'm going to pause right there. A slick-talking life insurance salesman is going to come in and say, well, Justin, I know how to add a rider to it, or I know how to redesign the policy to where the cash values equal the premiums paid in year 10. Okay, that's possible. I've seen those. Let's look at year 30 as we continue this exercise of x-raying this policy. You paid in $177,000 after 30 years. Your cash value is finally broke. It's only worth $200,000. So over a 30-year time period, you paid in $177,000 and you currently have $200,000 in cash value. Now let's contrast that to an investment account. And I just did some simple comparison. I didn't run any type of crazy assumptions. I took the same $5,920, so $5,920, the same premium that you're going to pay for the life insurance. I just said, hey, look, let's say we took that same premium and we invested it in the market. Well, if you did that at a 5% return, so I dropped off 0.5 just to represent an investment fee. I wanted to give a little bit of more realistic comparison. But after 10 years at a 5% return, your account value is $78,000 plus. So you paid in $59,000 and it's currently worth $78,000. It's a $20,000 pickup almost, folks. Compare that to the life insurance, which you had $26,000 in, which you lost almost over $30,000. So right off the bat, over a 10-year period, by us just buying a low-cost term insurance policy and investing, in this case, a comparable premium into the market, you end up with this difference, an amazing difference here of almost over $50,000 between what a life insurance account value would be and what an investment account value would be. Here's where it gets kind of like stupid crazy. You go out 20 years, the life insurance had $93,000. Now remember, you've already paid in $118,000, okay? The life insurance has a $93,000 account value. Your investment account would be more than double that at $205,000 and some change. So here we are again, almost twice as much money in an investment account as opposed to using a life insurance contract for investment purposes. And heaven forbid we run this out 30 years. Remember, at 30 years, you had $200,000 in policy value that you had paid $177,000 in premium for. In an investment account, you now have $412,000. And again, we're only talking about a 5% return. If we were to move this to a 6, 7, 8% return, holy cow, get out of the way, Batman. This thing's going to sail. So if you're approached with this idea of, hey, look, you really need to buy a life insurance policy and use it as an investment account because you're going to have a lot of money whenever you retire, get to that point of retirement. Friends, it just ain't so. It just ain't so. There's a lot of things that could happen between now and retirement. I have seen, not always, and this would be wrongful information if I said it always happens, but I have seen many times life insurance companies will increase their insurance cost. And as they increase the insurance cost, it causes the account to decrease in value over time. I've seen that. You have to pay marketing and commission costs inside of life insurance. You have premium taxes on life insurance. You have sub-account costs if you have a variable contract. You have a loss of dividend in some fixed and some index life insurance policies. All that is to say that what's on that paper is not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I've been doing this for 20 years. I have yet to see an illustration that matches what the actual reality happens after a few years. It just doesn't, because things change. Probably the biggest reason why I'm so against this idea at this point, especially with what's happened in the marketplace over the last 2 to 3 years, is there are a ton of alternatives now that we can use to accomplish almost the same exact goal as that old sales pitch. Obviously, we can certainly use our retirement accounts. I mean, in this 2019, someone under the age of 50 can put in $19,000 into a 401k or $19,000 into a Roth 401k. It's a lot of money going in tax-free. You can accomplish the same thing that life insurance policy was attempting to accomplish by getting tax-free or tax-favored growth as the sales pitch. So a married couple can put in $36,000 into Roth accounts if they're eligible for a Roth 401k. And if you're self-employed, you don't know how to do that, now's when you pick up the phone and say, hey, Justin, hey, man, help us. We don't know how to do tax planning. We need somebody who works with us. Reach out to us and we'll help you. So you can use a 401k. You can use SEPs. You can use IRAs, Simples. There's so many retirement accounts we can use. You could even go in and you say, well, Justin, I want to save a lot more. I'm already maxing out my 401k. And you know what? A lot of our clients do this. They've already maxed out their 401k. They're putting their $19,000 or their $25,000 per year if they're a married couple over the age of 50. So they're putting a ton of money back, $36,000, $50,000, $60,000 in some cases. Look, Justin, I made $800,000 last year. Or I made $600,000. I made $400,000. Whatever the number is, I want to save more because I'm not spending it. We live very frugal. We're that millionaire next door that you mentioned from Dr. Thomas Stanley's book a few episodes ago. That's who we are. Well, if that's who you are, then we can set things up like a cash balance plan. We had a client this last year under the age of 40 who was able to put just over $300,000 pre-tax into a cash balance plan that he and his wife got the majority. Over 96% of that deposit went into their personal account. You can do that. There's strategies that we can use today and opportunities that we can use today that 20, 30, 40 years ago they didn't have. Another thing you could do, now I'm not a big fan of these. I'm going to tell you whenever we get to this point of investing to run. But instead of doing a life insurance, you could go to a provider like a Vanguard and get a low cost, no surrender variable annuity and get the same deferral without a lot of the hidden fees that you have in life insurance. Now, again, I'm not a fan of those. There's so many other opportunities you can use, but that's an opportunity. That's an alternative to that life insurance concept. I still like the cash balance plan for number one, but man, in today's tax rate, where capital gains taxes could be 0%, if 0% tax, you heard me right. If you make under, I think it's $74,800, I may be wrong on my number there for 2019, but if you make under $74,000, $75,000, $76,000 in adjusted gross income, you pay no capital gains tax. So, and if you're over that number, you may only pay 10% or 15%, or maybe 20% capital gains on the high end. In that low tax rate, instead of paying the insurance company and losing all that hundreds of thousands of dollars, you could open up just a basic non-qualified investment account to which you could invest in stocks, bonds, real estate, your business, another business, you name it, you can invest in it. So there's just so many opportunities today, alternatives today that weren't available 20, 30, 40 years ago. A lot of the radio talking heads, and there's many of them out there. You have them from Susie Ormans to Clark Howard to Dave Ramsey to Robert Kiyosaki. I mean, there's a lot of them out there talking heads. This is one point that I agree with them so much on, 100% I would almost say, that you do not use life insurance as a retirement account. It doesn't make sense in today's market. Perhaps you purchase something like this. I have a couple of clients who have this, that years ago we used these. They are not bad. We didn't use commission style products. At least I don't think we did. I'm going from memory. It's been years ago. I think this was when we were doing our fee only phase. But we didn't use those, but they accomplished a purpose. They were maxing out their cash balance. They were in a high litigious type of job front. In Tennessee, we can protect the funds inside that life insurance from creditors and bankruptcy creditors. They were in a very litigious job. So we were trying to sock away as much money as we can into sheltered products that were for creditor protection. But notice what I said. They already maxed out retirement accounts. They already maxed out all the things which made sense to max out. And we coupled it alongside the estate plan to use the life insurance as a wealth transference tool. So just because you have this doesn't mean it's bad. There may have been a reason for it. But for the most of us, if you hear the sales pitch from that insurance agent who comes to you saying, man, we need to buy life insurance. One of these mutual companies are the worst. They just drive me crazy. There's a lot of mutual companies. I'm not going to name names, but if you just put something mutual, and that's who you're dealing with, they're trying to sell these just expensive life insurance policies as investments. Run. So I'm going to answer this question definitively. Should you purchase life insurance to fund your retirement? Capital N-O exclamation point to infinity and beyond, as Buzz Lightyear would say. So with that, friends, I'm gonna wrap it up. We are amazed to see the number of people who purchased the books. The book is out; it's been out for some weeks now, and it hit a Amazon bestseller and the new release charts, which was amazing to me. I'm humbled to see the purchases. Thank you for your purchase of the book if you've reached out there and bought it. As you may know, I wrote a book called The Ultimate Sale. You can search for my name, Justin Goodbread, or you can look for The Ultimate Sale. Or if you want to go to financiallysimple.com/order, you can pick up a copy of your book. If you bought a copy of the book, do me a favor, leave a review. I've got another book that's almost done talking about how to grow the value of a company. I would really, really, really love to know what you like or disliked about it. I'm in the process, you may not be able to tell it in my voice, but I'm in the process of recording the book for Audible so that people can listen to the book. Yes, you could have me straight for 17, 18, 20 hours. I know you can't hardly wait. But go ahead and buy the Audible book when it comes out, plug it in as you go on a trip, and your life will be fulfilled because you get to listen to me for so long. No, I'm joking there. No, buy the book. Buy the book on Audible. Anyways, let me know what you think. Leave a review. It helps me out, helps me know how to deal with it. I say it every week. Life is hard. It is. Life is hard. Life is good, but life can be frustrating. Money doesn't have to be. Let's continue to make our lives at least financially simple. Hey, y'all go out and make it a great day.